As the Wi-Fi, it's just without the exclamation point. And then you can click on demand here. It's going to take you to the YouTube. I don't look at marketing YouTube. It's my favorite, like to go over some things. It's a little more like overviewing the tech than it is like implementing for your business. But still, it's just really helpful. Like on his site, a lot of times, if I get a question, I'll just like go to his page on YouTube and like search if they have like lots of different things. They have like set up the monthly neighborhood nurture, and that's like a little 20-minute video that will walk through it. So they're good too for little tips. Yes, on-demand training right at the top. And then the password is capital B, lowercase a, MC 350. That's it. Right, we're going to go ahead and get started with today's class. So today's class is about organizing our command database. So we're going to talk all about contacts today. We're going to talk about getting our contacts into command, but we're also going to overview just the CRM section in general so that you can get comfortable with it. There's a bunch of different tools in there that you can use. And a lot of times when we're teaching different classes, we don't really get the deep contact section. So that's what we'll do today. So we're overviewing the CRM today, and then Thursday's class, we're going to talk about the first side of the implementation on how to reach out to contacts. This will be a great class to help you really get comfortable with your database. And as Leah mentioned in team meeting earlier today, the top places or the top place that agents typically get their business from is from their referrals. So the contact section is very, very important. So to start today, I am doing something here at Keller Williams Valentine. Anything I'm going over today, if you need a 30-minute appointment with us to break it down or even to expand on it, if you come to our awbresources.com page and click I need tech help in the top right corner, that'll bring you right to our calendar so that you can book an appointment with us and we can break it down. For today, we're going to be primarily in command, which is at agent.kw.com. Oh, and it's definitely going to prompt for a code if you're signed in today for the first time. They weirdly like had it seems like a privacy reset like yesterday, which made everyone like have a code to sign in. So it's not just you. Except yesterday there was an outage so that no one could get in. So that was less good. But now it's back. And let me just go get this real fast. Just going to check on just a couple settings that I want to note. So to our settings, we're going to go up to our name in the top right corner. And we're going to click on settings. And actually starting bottom and then going to the top, I'm going to just talk about Twilio real quickly here. Now, I just want you guys to be aware that this tool is in command. And then to book an appointment with us if you find that of interest to you. So what Twilio does, it allows bulk sending text messages as well as automating text messages through command. So for example, if you have their birthday in there and their phone number, what command can do, it can automate an happy birthday text right to their. Or another example of that tool is like the open house smart plan. When you sign up through your open house, it can send them a text message that says like, think of the open house. So that's a tool in command that's really really a great tool, I would say, just because of the channel that it's reaching out to them at. So text messages in general have a 96% impression rate, which is unreal for channels. Like, and that just means like the percent chance that you're going to get in front of them and that they're going to see that you're real estate. Versus like emails have a 26% impression rate in our industry. So there's only a 26% email. Mm-hmm. Text message, like that channel. Yeah. Text even, like that has a really high chance that they'd read it. I mean, I think you would find that's true for yourself too. I always put my text, even if I'm not responding to text, there is a high percent chance I at least read it. So that is just a great channel to think about for your business. And again, if you're interested in that, book with us. We have strategies to set it up and like the best way to introduce that to your sphere. Because just a heads up, it is like get a separate number with JuLeah. Like it's not coming from your personal phone number when you use this. So we'll talk through all the strategies if you book with us. I would recommend recommendation. It starts at $3.16 a month. So even if you were to just purely send out a text to see how your audience engages with it, and then tag people who engage with it well, that would be a good test to see what channel that you should reach out for a specific target. Again, it's a great feature, but you can subscribe to the regular marketplace. I would definitely recommend starting at the lowest package if you are doing that, because you can always something else I want to check on real quick here is the command email setting. Manage to the far right of that. Everyone who applies to email is your business email, or at least one that you're checking. Any email that comes in, noting here that as an agent, you can apply for free emails every single month, and that resets on the 1st. You can also upgrade if you need to for upgrade, but from what we've seen, 5,000 is a lot of emails to send out. All right, moving up a little bit. This is not a setting I typically talk about, but this is perfect for contacts. This Gmail application. And like yours might not be there because mine is showing like connected apps on top. But if you click on connect account to the side of your Gmail account, what that allows that to happen is as you're sending out emails through your like KW email, you know how there's like a timeline of like you're reaching out, calling them through the command app, you can see all the timeline activity. If you connect this setting up, it will actually be able to see the emails that you're sending through your KW email Gmail account as well, and track that on the activity log as well. So I would recommend at least connecting this up to your KW email. If you click connect account, it'll just prompt you to sign in. And that way you can see what I'll show you the timeline. Just a heads up, it doesn't show like everything in the email. Like it shows you the subject that you sent, but not like the contents of it. But it does allow you to like click to see more. But again, this is just great for your activity, so you can see all the back and forth. Bring the like connect account to the far right of that. It'll just prompt you to sign into your KW email. Ready? Okay, so I'm going to next to the contact section now. And we're going to next talk about just ways to get our contacts in to start off with. So with that icon on the second, the second icon on the left-hand side is going to be our contact section. And I'm starting with adding just a single contact at a time. We can add one contact at a time by clicking add contact in the top right. When we're filling out a contact record, the only thing it needs to have is a name. The whole idea with that is that if you have over 200 contacts in your database, you build a $120,000 business. But it's not just talking about like throwing 200 names in your database. They are talking about fully complete contacts, meaning they have. So aside from a name, you want a email, a phone number, physical address, then bonus points for your home anniversary and birthday. So again, that's an email, phone number, physical address, then a home anniversary and a birthday. And the whole idea is if you can collect this data, legwork, and I know it's a tedious process to clean your contacts. I've done it. It sucks. But if you can do the legwork of doing that, Command has the Smartplans in there that can then automate these touches. So for example, we have an email and a physical address. It can automate hyperlocal neighborhood emails right in the inbox. You can set it up once and then it's running forever. I mentioned like the birthday smart plan. So if you have their birthday and phone number, it can automate a text message wishing them happy birthday. So you can collect these 5 pieces of information, and I'll show you. That is the goal with our tool. So, for name, give it a name. And if you have not already added yourself to your command database, I would definitely recommend doing that so that you can like use yourself as a test, send yourself stuff. And at least for this class example, you can add yourself in here. So with the name, underneath the name, we're going to have add a relationship. So you can add in a spouse for a kid, etc. So how Command wants you to edit your spouses, for example. So instead of having one contact that's John and Jane Smith, they Command wants you to have 2 separate contacts for a spouse, like the wife and the idea there is like for DocuSign purposes, like each of them need an email so they can line. That's how Command wants you to enter those in as 2 separate contacts. And this would allow that to happen. So either if it's a contact already in your database, which I already tested that with. Also create a new contact here in case that contact's not created. But if you are doing that, I would just recommend making a mental note of going back to that contact to add the contact. So now when you're adding a spouse or a relationship, it does prompt you to add in your contact information. Then you can simply just add his email. And or you had to kind of remember to add contact information, but now this makes the smoother process. And then you can change on the right-hand side what their relationship to that contact is. Next, we're going to give it an email. And a phone number. Then, so you are able to select a lead source. So if you get this lead from a specific spot, it's good to go ahead and put that in because you're able to filter by this lead source. So let's say you get a spreadsheet back and you have a bunch of leads from an open house. Well, that would be a good spot to put in that they're from an open house so that you know exactly where they came from. Another example, maybe you met them like at an event or maybe at church or something. Put that in here so that you know exactly what you are able to mark it as a lead here. And what that does, so I don't know if you can see like where Dr. Frankenstein is here. It has a little L letting me know he's a lead. So that way you can, again, filter by your leads so that you can pull those up very easily. What I would recommend marking as a lead is anyone you have not had a meaningful conversation about real estate. So maybe it's someone that you haven't yet told or you don't know timeline wise where they are. I'd recommend marking them as a lead if that's the case for you, so that you can pull up a list of people that you need to reach out to about real estate. Moving down to tags. The tags are very important in Command because it allows you to group your contacts together. The popular ones you'll see are like buyer, seller. Like the whole idea is if we go through and tag all our buyers and then all our sellers, we could send our sellers relevant information. Other common tags that we see are SOI or sphere. We also see if they speak a different language. Like if you tag them in that language they speak, that way you can reach out to them with their language. Another common tag we also see is like in-state and out-of-state. So again, marketing wise, you can say, well, I moved to North Carolina versus why North Carolina. Great. So basically, any way that you can group together your contacts, out to them the most effective. Just a heads up, contacts can have unlimited tags. You can contact with like 50 tags a day. Any way that you want to group those contacts together. But when we drop additional contacts, so we only have to add information to grab from them. Here is where you're also going to find the street address so that you can put in your address. Now, in regards to grabbing those 5 pieces of information, email, the address, the home anniversary, and birthday. Hardest ones to grab are going to be the email phone. So if you have, I would recommend have for their phone number. If you have their phone number, call them for their email. But for the street address and home anniversary, I want to talk about that in a more sneaky way. Just a heads up, in the MLS tax records, you can find their homeowner, their address, as well as their home anniversary. And even if you did not sell them at home, I would recommend throwing that date into your database so that you can reach out to them on that. And talk about a good reminder that you're in real estate, and like a relevant one is for a home anniversary. Because then you can gauge like a timeline that they're willing to buy and sell. Like if they bought back a long time ago, that would be a good call to reach out and see if they're ready to make their next move. Again, the tax records is where you can find that information. And I would recommend absolutely throwing it into your database. Scrolling down, you can add their social profiles. I don't think that's really worth your time, honestly. Like, I don't see many agents, like, if you want to reach out to them on social media, typically agents just search them up on the social media platform. I personally don't waste your time going through and add that information there. Under about, though, lots more information, but just pointing out the birthday and the home anniversary. This is where you can put those in. And then there are just a few more bits of information you can add in there. Those, right, are the 5 main things that we've added in there: email, phone, physical address, and those. And then we can click create, and that's going to create that content right away. And so I would recommend like creating a contact first, and then if you come over here to like notes on the right hand side, you can click to add that note there. Like once you create a contact, yeah, and just to like if you're looking at it this way, you need to like click on a contact to like open him up, and then you're gonna see that on the right hand side, so you can add notes. All right, so that's how we have one contact at a time. I want to have talk about how we can contacts into command in case you haven't already. But while we're on that app, we'll talk about how to add a contact on the go. So specifically, example of adding one contact to your database. Let's say that we're on the go, we're at the grocery store, and we need a new lead, and we want to add them to our command database. You can just pull up the app instead to add a contact, which is the command app. So if you've not downloaded that already, it's like a red app with a white PW, and it's command. You can sign into this app with the same exact login we use on the computer. So our command on a mobile view. Then let's add one, adding a contact to command. We can click that plus icon to the bottom right corner, and we'll get the option to add a contact. So it will kind of look similar to that computer view where it's the prompt for that contact information. Again, the only thing it needs to have is that name. course, grab as much info as you can from them when you're talking to them. But what's so cool about adding it to the command at first? I know, like, out of habit, you would want to go right to your own contacts. That's fine, but this is a way better process because once we add it to command and click save, that leads us right into our command account, which is perfect. But now also, once we saved it, we can click the three dots in the top right corner and click the save contact phone. So just with a couple taps, we add that contact. Does that make sense process-wise? You like that. Now, other than like on contacts, how to import like our phone contacts command is on the second icon on the bottom toolbar, like the contact section. If you go up to the three dots in the top right here, there's going to be an option to import contacts. If you're doing this for the first time, it's going to be like allow access to your contacts. Then at this point, you can either go through and select the people you want to add to your account, or do like select all and deselect anyone you don't want to add to your account. Just a heads up, adding them to your command account does not send them anything. You will not receive anything if you add them to command. It just gives you the opportunity to, if you ever want to send them something. Okay, but no, you will not get duplicates. So her question was about duplicates. So command recognizes duplicates based off primary phone number and email. I mean, if you already have that email or phone number in there, it will not with the contact. So there's no chance of like duplicated phone numbers or emails. Now, that being said, I will say, like, if you have the contact where you have an email for the contact and then the phone number on a separate contact, it will allow that contact to be entered twice. But I'm actually going to show a way where we can merge those together. So you don't have to answer your question, I guess. You don't have to worry. The system does that for you. So I would recommend, and our recommendation typically is to add as many contacts as you can to that. A lot of, I don't want to annoy them. I don't want to send them stuff. Okay, I get it. If I could be like the upper side of it, let's say they don't want to work with you. Well, what if they have like a aunt, sister, son that wants to work with you? I think that thousands of dollars is worth it with the time. So I think putting your contacts in there again doesn't even say anything. So it gives you the opportunity to set up systems to follow up with them. I would recommend adding as many as you can. I would recommend adding a tag. So yeah, when you go through these steps and you click continue in the top right, once you select some contacts, it will give you an option to add a tag. I would recommend, if you don't already have a phone contact tag, to create that by clicking new tag and typing in like phone contact. And that way you can easily by those and pull those up if you ever need them. You can easily find all your phone contacts right in command as long as you just have the tag. So like add that and then click continue and then click continue one more time. That's so it typically takes like 5 minutes depending on how many contacts are in there. The last way to get contacts in command is to get a spreadsheet. So let's say you hold an event, you export them from email or wherever you have contacts. They are on a spreadsheet. You can shoot that over to support@scottlemarketing.com, and they just need a spreadsheet in your command login, and they can import 5 spreadsheets per agent per month for free. So you can just send that over, and they will import them in your database within 24 hours. Never feel like you need to go contact. We have a resource. Alrighty. Now that we have our into command, let's talk more about our database and our CRM here. And let's get a little comfortable with that. So I'm going to click back to contact so I can see like this view of my contacts. I'm going to just pull up all my contacts. Just a couple things here. Or more than a couple, I guess. Okay. So right here, so start off with, I guess, one, we can search by contact, right? In that search by default is searching by everything, but you can always filter that further if you would need to find contacts more easily. Actually jumping around just quite a bit. Up by the three dots in the top right, you get some options that. So one thing that we're going to look at today is checking for duplicates. So if you would like to go ahead and click on that button, so I can show you that feature. The system is scanning for duplicates now as soon as we click the three dots and check for duplicates. It does take a minute, so I'm going to come back to that tool and just keep kind of explaining more things. So also up by the three dots is a way that we can export all our contacts. So it exports like a copy of those contacts. It doesn't like remove anything from your database. Up here, you can also find where you can export mailing. So if you are or anything like holiday cards. You can export mailing labels. So there's a couple of settings that we can change. So starting with customized columns. So your columns might look a little different than mine, and that's because you can completely customize this to your business. So if we click on customize columns, on the left-hand side, we're able to check off what we want to see. And then on the right-hand side, we can decide on the order we want to see it. So typically what I recommend and what I see other agents do is they have their tags pretty near the top. Because again, that's the way you like sort those contacts. I have my tags up top on this list. And then I also have primary email and primary phone number near the top as well, so I can contact information. One field I might recommend bringing up is the last contacted one. So if you pull that up, like maybe next to primary phone number, as you are reaching out to them, and again, it's really important that you're reaching out to them either on the command app or at least you're tracking this in your command account. Because the more you the more you're going to get out of it. For example, if you're like reaching out to them on the command app and you're testing like an email from there, that last contacted is going to be based off that date that you actually reach out. That would be an important one so you need to text. Yes. Well, only again if you go through the command app. Kind of. Because as long as you it will track it. So like if you go to your contacts and any of those like contacts that have like a little messaging bubble on them, click on that, that's what allows you to text them. And as long as you start that process, and like it's gonna text like normal, like from your phone, but if you start the process from command, total habit for learners, but I think it would be effective. Yes. I don't think any because I mean it's so natural to go right to your like I mean they text you from there, so you just text back, right? But if you do, I mean you can just get a little more. So yes, you can customize the column, click apply, whichever changes that you're making here. And now when we save those changes, just a heads up, if we were to log out and come back in, unfortunately that would save our customized columns, not necessarily. unless we click the Save Smart View Changes. So what smart views are, just drop down there. What those are is there's like different views of your database that you can set up that you regularly use. So for example, if we were to set up, well, let's actually see their examples here. So if you click on Smart View here, and I have a bunch of Smart Views already set up. But I believe there are these KW ones for everyone. So if you switch to upcoming birthdays, this has a filter on already, like automatically, that is showing birthdays within the next 30 days. So this filter is automatically on just by switching to that view. Same with like no neighborhoods. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, this is new too. Contacts you have not contacted in the past 30 days. So again, you would have to be using your command app in a high level to do that. But these are different basic views that are performing filters that we can easily pull up. You can create your own smart views based off what you might be regularly pulling up. So as an example, let's say I would regularly pull up my sphere contacts and who have last contacted longer than 45 days. So this is a filter that I would want to turn on, or I would want to see a lot, like I see regularly in my business. What I could do is click Create Smart View here. I can give that a name. This is, again, my sphere need to contact. Absolutely. The first step that you do is like turn on the filters or even customize the columns that you would want to do. So like I turn on the filter of my tag of SOI and as well as my last contact is longer than 45 days. So those are the filters I turned on. Then even to get, if I wanted to customize my columns to also pull up my, where's my, like let's say I wanted that to be my columns too. My whole view. Filters turn on and those new columns. I can click Create Smart View here and give that a name. And then click Save Smart View. So now if I log out and I come back into my contact section and it's showing me just all my contacts, I can now from this drop down simply find the security contact and it turns on those filters and moves my columns all for sure. No, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I like when I come to my what checking that does is like if you were to log back in, that would be the first thing you see. So like I like seeing all my contacts. So, yeah. On for your default is I believe by default everyone shows like it says show 1 of 10 in the top right there. What you can do is click that show 1 of 10 and change that to 500. And then like mine's already saved that way. But like if you click Save Smart View Changes up at the top of that, and anytime you log back in, it will always show 500 at a time. I do like that. So as well, so there's just different views that you can view your database. So by default, it's like this nice list view. I like personally like to see, but I do see sometimes agents view it with these like like card view instead. Totally up to how you really. I like the list. And again, if you just wanted to save that view though, just be sure that you save your smart view changes so that you see that every time you want. general, like, if you add all the information for, let's say, the wife, that would apply to the spouse. They're connected within the, like, and I think how they want you to do it is, like, fill it all in for one of them, and then, like, have the main contact information for the other. But as long as, like, you have that in as a relationship, you can, like, click, like, my relationships are down here, so I could click on that contact to pull all the information I need. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily, just more so be aware, maybe have a tag that's like primary, so you know which one has all of that. Yeah, and there's something else on that for, like, those kind of niches that we can add to our database. Awesome. Okay, so let me see here. So one of one I like to set up a smart view for contacts that don't have a, or that have a neighborhood, have an email, but all set up on a smart plan, meaning we should on a monthly neighborhood filter. So that would be maybe a good smart view to set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on filters, and I'm going to go up to advanced. Then in the field, I'm going to say, okay, email, maybe. And then it's not empty. So this is going to pull up anyone with an email, right? And then we can add a filter, and we can do neighborhood is not empty. So they have an email and a neighborhood is what I want. And then I can add one more filter even, and I could say Smartplans. So this would be filtering for any contact that basically is ready to be set up on the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan, but is not. So I can apply, and I don't know if I'll get anybody. Oh, good, I have lucky. Yeah, one of my favorite clients. At this point, what we can do, I'm going to show how we can add one contact at a time for that. So let's say Dr. Frankenstein here. If we click on him, we can come over here. So, right, we have an email. We have neighborhoods for this contact. So again, we can add them to the monthly neighborhood nurture. We come over here to Smart Plans now. We click Add Smart Plan. Search for our nurture Smart Plan. And again, there are two for this. There's the monthly one and bi-weekly. It's just a frequency difference. So I would recommend a monthly one if they're a long-term buyer. So we could select that smart plan. We'll always have to create this now, but we could start that right away. And then that contact is going to be emails regarding the neighborhood now once a month forever. Now, that was the way we add one contact to Smart Plan. Let's talk about how we can, okay, I pulled up 15 contacts that need to be added to the Smart Plan. How do we add that in bulk? So, instead of this, we can also, so you see under the search bar, there's nothing here until I click on a checkbox, and then this actions field appears. So there's things we can do in bulk. So if we like check next to these people we want to do, add to a smart plan, or we can check the top checkbox and it's going to select all. And that's why also I like to keep this show 1 of 10 to 500 so we can select like all at a time. So once I select that top checkbox, it selects all 15 of those contacts ready to be set up on it. We could go over here to actions and add the smart plan. And same kind of steps, we just look for that nurture smart plan, select it, start it right away. And then they, again, all 15 of those contacts are receiving hyperlocal neighborhood emails right to the end. Yes. That is a really great. So yeah, what's the that's the neighborhood for contact by, so let's say for like here. So either if they're a buyer, you can come to their contact, click add neighborhood, and just type in the neighborhoods they're interested in. Or if you do have their physical address, Command automatically knows that neighborhood they live in. So this contact would receive hyperlocal information based on their neighborhood. Yeah. Yeah. You can have 10, maybe 15 neighborhoods. Yeah, you can all have their address. Even in Florida, they would see their neighborhood information if you put in that neighborhood they live in. Right. Exactly. That's like, I have an agent. Uh, I have an agent who sent me a comment, and I look at it every month because I'm actually interested in what's going on. So it is a really good email. Like to show this one. It's my favorite smart plan that's in Command. But it does have, that little extra legwork of you have to have the neighborhood and you have to have an email. But that's when that automation becomes applied. So I think it's called agent. Yeah. Okay. Here's my neighborhood manager that I get sent every month automatically. So he doesn't do anything to set this up, but I'm like, wow, he created a custom email just for me. People typically don't get what you're doing. But it would have your information branded right up top. It says, hi, contact person. Nice and personal to me. Then I scroll down, I get a mini PMA, what's going on in my neighborhood. I see properties for sale near me. If I click to explore more, I'm taken right to his website. So I'm taken right to his Command website. So if I do click to search more properties, it's all on his website. But I can see even more about this neighborhood. I can see what locals have to say. I can see nearby schools. I can calculate my commute time to work. So again, if all you grabbed was their neighborhood and they're like, wow, they are so really personalized page to me. And so either if you have like a contact, if you have their address, Command will automatically know the neighborhood, or you can come in here and add extra ones. This is great. And also to mention, okay, like there's also these searches. Typically, agents always set their safe searches from the MLS. Makes most sense. And that's totally normal. So let's say you have like an out of town client that you do want to help. Just a heads up, these safe searches in Command is anywhere in the nation. It's not just our MLS. So if you need to set up a safe search elsewhere, provide value for that referral, here's the spot you can do. Not our local, but like let's say you want to set up a safe search for like Florida, like to get a referral, I'm saying. This is great for like a really hot lead who knows how many bedrooms that. Because that monthly neighborhood is more putting them in the driver's seat of letting them do the searching. If they're like more hot, like ready to buy, if they know if they want, safe searches are good. Already. And yes, when we click on a profile, just anytime we click on a contact in our database, this is what we pulled up, and this is what we call the contact code. So this is going to on the left-hand side that we've entered in. But then on the right-hand side, we're going to see additional things as well. So if you were here for team meeting, I mentioned this new thing that got released family reunion is this AI. So because it doesn't have enough relevant events to generate because it does take 5 items in order to generate. So whether that be the calls that we're making through our or if we are searching on our website, that would be back on this timeline. And then by the example contact. So this contact, I did have the information for it. So it's a nice little summary for them, all the things going on. Yeah. And I mentioned an example of database only as much as you could. If you're not tracking anything, look at any of your notes or anything kind like command, this won't be very helpful. But if you get into the habit, wow, that is so nice to see with when you have like all that. That's too much info load. The system do it. You have to use it. That's how we like add things to our timeline. I bet as an agent, I would think the command app would be the like the top place, just because you're always on the go as an agent on the computer. So the app would probably be a more real time for you. So just like as soon as you have a like if you saw them out, like get your card, pull up your command app and open up that contact record, and just when you open up that contact, go to your timeline and click that plus icon. A little description of the house. They mentioned their dog is trying out for cheerleading. Like you can also add timeline activities here. So if you do come home and you can on the computer instead, put down here as well and add activities. Opportunities will be here, so if you have any opportunities set up for them. This is typically the way I would recommend like opening up your existing opportunities so that you're not accidentally creating like multiple opportunities for a contact. You can come here and just click on it. It's going to bring us right to the opportunity. Smart plans, we're going to be able to see any smart plans we have set up or they have set up for them. Tasks is kind of cool because we can connect a task to a specific contact. So let's say, this is an example, for a specific contact, we need to put out a sign. You can set up a task for them and the task make that. And that way, again, the Peninsula, you guys do so much. You have to wear so many hats. If you just get all your mental load into the command, you don't have to remember anything. So you it would be the third icon on the bottom here is going to have all your tasks. So there's my put a sign in the yard. So I can see, oh, it's for Joel Berry. I need to. And then like on the home page, even for example, you'll have your due today, due soon, past due. Of course, I have a bunch of past due now. But the whole idea is each morning we should be able to wake up, check our stand app, see what we have to do today and all the tasks to do. We'll put into it when we get up. Got notes over here as well, so you can add additional notes. And then probably can, but again, it reaches outside of focus. All right, going back to contacts here. Yeah, a few minutes. Talk about real fast cleaning up our contacts. Okay, so we want to remove contacts from our database. How do we go about that? So the first step to removing contacts from the database is archiving. So you can do that one at a time by either clicking on that contact, clicking the three dots, and clicking archive. You can also do this in bulk. Same kind of steps. You can click next to anyone that you want to archive or remove. And then as soon as we check one, this actions field will appear and we can archive it that way as well. I do want to just note all the things that we can do in bulk. So the primary things I see, talk about additive, that we met a bunch of people at open house and we want to add to all of them that we met them at open house. Adding tags is a really common one we see see that in bulk so that you can go through and tag everyone you need to. There's also a remove tag button if you need to remove them. Export, so you can also export those contacts, like a list of them, filling labels in this way. Now, access the details right from our database section. So when we click send email, it puts the twos up here. We can fill a subject. We can even pull in our designs right from here. So that's awesome. But again, why I'm actually here is if you go up to action, click to archive those in bulk. All right. Once they are in the archive, they aren't really actually. So there's a contact archive to help you save information that you don't actually want to delete. However, let's say you threw some contact in an archive and then a year later you want to re-add that contact to command, but it's saying there's a duplicate already in there because the contact already exists. So brings me to our contact settings. If you go up to your name, you go to settings, and then command settings on the left-hand side and contacts. There's a few settings here that I just want you more so to be aware of. They're probably not as like applicable in your day-to-day business, but more so that you know where this is. So here's our contact archive. So if we archive a contact and we want to re-add that contact to our database, either we could come in here and restore it and then edit the contact, or we could delete it permanently, then re-add that contact at that point. Your name at the top, and then settings, and then command settings, and then contact. Moving right, then we're just going to go down this list. So moving beneath that, so if you did want to do a full like wipe of your database, this would be a spot to do it. So this would be the spot to like clear your entire archive. So you could delete all archive contacts here, just so there's not like contacts sitting in. Next, contact tags. So this is where you can see all your tags and even create tags. However, again, this is not really that applicable of a section because you can create tags right from the contact section. And sorry to jump, but I just want to just show you because I didn't show that earlier. So when we're adding a contact, let's say we wanted to add like a, I think I already have a VIP tag. But if I wanted to add a tag, as long as I type that in, I can click create new here to add any custom tags. So that's how we can, so that's why that section's kind of less important. Then lead management. Lead management is kind of cool. And I want to set one up together today just to show you the capability of it. But basically what this section is that we can set up roles based off lead sources so that we can, like, for example, I have set up that based off the lead source of our open house sign-in page, it would set them up automatically on the Smartplan for the open house follow-up just based off that lead. To give you an example, we could set up today. I'm going to do the website follow-up example, then delete it and redo it. Create role. What we need is a name for your organization purposes. So I'm setting up an example of a website follow-up idea. So that anytime that it comes in off your website, they are receiving an email right away. So first, the title. Next, for the lead source, we're going to select the site. Now, for our website, here's the this way. Do parentheses. Site. And web. So like and whatnot. For this one, I'm going to do new sign up and search it one more time. So I'm going to set this up as soon as like someone picks sign up on the top right, or it's which lead sources. Off that lead source, there are two things I can do. I can auto tag them. So if they're coming from the website, I might recommend setting up. one. Creating the tag, I might recommend just throwing a color on it. Just because all system tags and commands, tags are like command generated tags, like buyer and seller, your C are already in there. These like give it a color to recognize that it's a custom tag to you. And then you can auto assign to a smart plan. So the one I like for this is to promote my app. I'm pretty sure everyone has it in there by like default. Plus, and I'll show you what it sends, but it just sends them like the information about downloading your app. So if they're signed up on your website, you want them to have that. So this is how I set this up. And then click create rule. So now automatically your leads are going to be followed up with if you come in on your website. And just to show you what that's sending, you can always edit this from the smart plan. We set them up automatically on a smart plan. That's why I came here. And I'm searching for that promote app one. If I click that pencil icon to the far right of it, I can open it up and see what I'm doing, to see what it's doing. But what's doing first, so as soon as that lead would come in, I can click on that step here. And on the right-hand side, and I can click preview. This is an email that they're going to automatically get sent. So just like showing the value your app can provide. And then it's even hyperlinked with your app. So when they click, they can download that. So great. We have a follow-up system just automatically set up now for all our website leads. Just a heads up within the smart plan, it does also send a text if you use Twilio. If you do not use Twilio, it just skips that. So if you don't have Twilio, all it does is send an email. If you do have Twilio, it does send them a text. And anytime with a smart plan, you can just click on a step and you'll see that preview on the right-hand side of what it's doing. So that is the power of lead management. I do like that. Kind of jumping back into our settings and command settings and contacts here, just to wrap things up. So lead sources, there is a section, but similarly to the tag section, is less applicable because we can create custom right from the contact section. Database cleanup. This is what. So earlier when we click the three dots and we click check for duplicates, this is where our duplicates now appear. So when we check for duplicates, it's going to pull all our duplicates into this section here. And now you do need to kind of eye through to see if it's correct. Like sometimes it won't always be correct, so it is important to kind of look through it. But it's trying to pull, like, for example, these contacts have the same name and it knows that, so it's trying to help me. So either I can click ignore if that's not the case. If they're totally different contacts and they just have the same name, you can click ignore. Or you can click merge and just merge those contacts together. So the thing we need to select here is the primary. But what's great is the system kind of knows which is the primary based off how much information you have for the contact. But if you need to, you can click in the primary and then click continue. Then it will give you a review so you can see how that contact's going to display. And then you can click merge and delete duplicate. And boom, that duplicate is out of our way. Now I will say if you're going through that and like you're getting errors, you cannot like merge together or like delete. The duplicate contact cannot be one that has opportunities or smart plans running on it. So if you're running into an error, it might be because that contact is set up on an opportunity or smart plan. In general, this is a really good list to go through and help with your cleanup. You just want to make the primary one, like the one, so that you don't have that. Click on yeah, because we have all that there. That one. Yeah, and I think they're like I mentioned earlier, because the command recognizes duplicates based off phone number and email. One contact is an email, one has a phone number, contact. The contacts in there twice, and we just merge it together. So this is a great spot to do that. Merge and click the one you want to be the primary one. I believe, let me just I say it. Like one wants me to keep this one because I have the Smartplan set up. But I would see that if I merge this, it's like it comes over with extra info. They add it as an additional email. How cool is that? When I click, like I had a different email, like the same content, but like a different email. But if I click continue, it pulls that email as the additional email now. So you don't lose that contact information. It just adds it to it. That's fun. Woo. I'm comfortable. So yeah, this is a great way to help clean up your content. Go through, take a look. Last thing I want to mention real fast, I know I'm over time, is custom fields. So of course, there's a bunch of things that command prompts were like email, phone number, the basics. So let's say there's like a specific field in there for your business, like maybe divorce, that you want to add in there so that you can keep track of that. What you can do is come here to custom fields and create custom. Let's just do like divorce example. So we can do custom field types. So depending on that, we can do like a checkbox maybe. So like we could check if they are divorced or not. We kind of just have to decide like what we're doing here. And then you can like add it as a default. So anytime you create a contact, you're always going to see this option pop up for you. So you can click create. And then so to show you now when we're going to create a contact, under add more information and custom, I'll have that field so we can press in if it's working on it. So that's the extra field so that you can really customize that to your system. And yeah, that is I know the context can be a lot, but I feel like the more you kind of play around with it, the more you add to it. But like the more you add to it, truly the more you're gonna get out of it. And then I do recommend that cleaning your contacts out the gate. Like if you time block a little bit day, you go through 10 contacts to grab those 5 pieces of information. If you get yourself that goal, by the end of X amount of days, you would have a fully clean contact database, which is just, I mean, so and I know a lot of people then, but contact here and there just to get your started. Thursday, we're going to talk about adding them to all of that Smartplans and commands. So like for call, so here's the system. Oh, yeah. Also, feel free to book with us. Like, let's say you're not going to get to your contact for like a week or two. And then two, like if you got that amount cleaned up, it really percentage wise, like 10%. Like start with 10% of your database to focus on the IP list, and then start with that, and we will set them up with all those best markets. For those of you online, feel free to shoot us an email, contact@JuLeahDesigns.com if you have any questions. Feel free to book us as well.